Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk with you about something that we don't often talk about because it's like, it's that time of the month thing. The time when your AWS bill is due and you realize you're being charged an arm and a leg. Bummer. Well, it's time to reduce costs then. So for your leg, I suggest Dr. Kubernetes. They're a licensed podiatrist. And for your arm, I suggest Dr. 6G. They're the arm architect. Great. So next month comes, lo and behold, you're still being charged an arm and a leg. But this time, it's a brand new, shiny, cluster deployed ARM64 leg. Not quite bright. So perhaps we went too quickly for that let's reduce cost thing. Because, folks, let's reduce costs is the FinOps equivalent of shotgun debugging. Now, don't get me wrong. Putting out a shotgun here and there is perfectly fine. But band-aiding a root cause? Not as much. So, hi everyone. I'm Gil, and I've seen the above happen so many times during my DevOps consulting days. And yet, I've seen other companies which conducted themselves differently. And that's what I'd like to talk with you about today. I'd like to offer 3 simple points for a FinOps strategy. Tie-in, shaping, and accounting. So let's start with tie-in. Now, suppose you want to sell ties. So it only makes sense to price the tie according to what it costs to make. But we're not in the business of selling ties. We're in the business of selling an online service. So shouldn't be trivial to price it according to what it costs to run? Because, folks, scaling losses is a losing proposition, and scaling profits is a winning one. Now, granted, it's not always that simple or trivial, but it's a damn good start. So the next thing I want to talk with you about is product shaping. So a horse is a horse, of course, but then you have a riding horse for 1K, a race horse for 80K, and a talking horse. Just contact our sales department. We'll have one ready by Q2. But when it comes to an online service, well, you start with a simple service, you price it at like maybe 1K a year, but then your product person comes and says, hey, our customers want multi-cloud, multi-region, instant scaling, and not a word about costs. And then your salesperson comes and says, hey, I've promised our client nuclear reactor reliability, way too many nines, and I've promised it by Q2. Well, no, that's never going to work, folks. I mean, if your salesperson or your product person want to take your talking horse and set it like it's a riding horse, just say nay. They have to get the cost of engineering into their thought. The third one is accounting. Accounting's the simplest of 3. It's so simple. If you do it, but don't track it, you didn't do it. That's it. So simple. No ifs, no buts, no regrets, no remorse. Because, folks, if you do, accounting counts. Because if you do all 3 together, if your costs are tied in to your profits, if your product and salespeople know how to price your product according to the engineering constraints, and if you use accounting to maintain that a positive ratio between the 2 holds, then you can use cost reduction like the tool it was meant to be to begin with. And that's all there is to it, to FinOps Nirvana. Thank you.